Good morning from the East Coast to wherever you guys are. My name is Brandon, or SpookieSTL, and today we're going to be talking about the time that I almost dated a Russian girl. Now, the story is more so like a series of events. So the very first college I ever went to when I was done with high school was a New York Film Academy. And the New York Film Academy was a place in Los Angeles, Burbank, where all the movie studios was basically, and it was a giant melting pot. 75% of the school was populated with foreign kids. Like, I was like one of the only Americans in my class. There was like 3 of us, or 4 or 5, I can't remember. And you know what the greatest part was that I probably learned so many different languages for people. I can't remember the words, but there was like Saudi Arabians, there was Chinese, there was Koreans, there was oh man, Indians. There was all kinds of people, and even from across the states, and it was amazing. I remember in particular that there was always one person that stuck out in my mind. The very first, I guess, film set I was on, and back at that time when I was going to school, the film sets that we were going to were actually film sets that they filmed movies in. We were going to the backlots of Universal because the school worked heavily closely with Universal. So I got to film in the backlots of Universal, and it was amazing. It was awesome. Totally grand experience. Maybe I'll talk about why I decided to go to that school in a different story time. But this is story time number 8. 9. Sorry, it's story time number 9. And I remember seeing this one girl one time, and she was very, very late. She was a blonde with blue hair, pale eyes, and she was late to the shoot. I'm like, who is our last actor that we need? Because I think I was directing that day. And they're like, oh, it's this girl called so-and-so. And I'm like, alright, well, I guess we'll wait for her. She came in, and she was just completely took me off guard. This Russian chick, like, it had a very deep accent. Like, she literally reminded me of Alice from Alice in the Wonderland. And this is gonna lead me into something in a moment. Give me a second. So, I filmed with her that one day, and I remember emailing her the next day. I said, hey, I want you to do a film for me, my very first film. I want you to play a character called Alice. Would you like to play the character? She absolutely fell in love with it. She's like, hey, you know what? Yeah, I would love to. Let's get on it. So, sure enough, she helped me film my first video in film school in Los Angeles. And then I wanted to use her again for several other parts, which she almost was a Harley Quinn at a time, which would have been amazing, but that plan didn't go through. So I worked with her a couple bajillion times on many film projects, and then I remember that I probably had a crush on this girl for like, I think 8 or 9 months. It was a long time, but like one of those sly ones. What happened basically is I remember going to a party one time, and I got super plastered, and my friend was talking to the Russian girl's best friend. She said, hey, my friend likes, you know, your friend, they should totally talk to each other. She was trying to hook me up, like, and this was my roommate at the time. She was trying to hook me up for all kinds of sorts of different things with this girl, and it never followed through. But I remember I really wanted to hang out with this Russian girl. Like, I always would have her do films for me and stuff because I really wanted to work with her. But there were several times where I remember that I used to go to this stunt class, and basically the stunt class in film school was like directed by this cool like Jackie Chan like dude, and he was awesome. And I remember she used to go to the classes, and I used to be her partner, and we used to like spar with each other. Always have these weird occurrences, like where we'd meet up with each other and talk for a little bit. But there was this one time I remember where I dropped her off home, and she stood in my car. Like, literally, I dropped her off at her house, and she was in her car, in my car, for another like minute or 2. And I'm just looking at her, like waiting for her to get out, I guess you can say. But I think she thought maybe that it was gonna be something else. I don't know. Like, and I didn't know. Like, for me, like, I'm so always awkward when it comes to relationships and all these other things because I never know how to handle it. So literally, I almost kissed a Russian girl one time. If I would have known back then, I probably would have taken the chance. But I didn't really think about it because I wasn't like, oh yeah, you know, let me go out there and throw my thing off people. No. And so the rest of this year, I literally was always trying to be next. Like, my friend would have this Russian girl, like, on his, like, movie sets and stuff. Like, she was the ultimate blonde girl. If you wanted her to play certain roles, she could do it. She was amazing. And I don't know what it was. I just never asked this girl out. I never went on a date with her. I don't know what the Russian culture is like or what those people are like. And for an American kid, like I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I remember seeing this Russian girl. I'm like, wow, she is like the most gorgeous thing ever. Long story short, I wound up leaving that school, and I never talked to her. Like, I never asked her out, I never did anything, and it's not a big regret of mine, but it's one of those stories. Like, I almost had an experience with a foreign girl one time, and she's never known about this. Like, I never open up my feelings too much when I like somebody or like I'm interested in somebody, because I just don't like the sign of rejection. And rejection can follow through on so many different things. It could truly hurt a person and cause a lot of trust issues. And you know, if you have trust issues or if you've been rejected in the past, just know there's always another person out there for you. There's something always more just waiting around the riverbed. And yes, I just quoted Pocahontas, and Pocahontas is amazing and all that fun stuff. So I'm looking at my Harley Quinn poster right now, and I'm thinking about it. Like, I almost had somebody play that role for, like, in my movie. It would have been awesome. So basically, it was a little bit of occurrences throughout a year that I almost dated somebody. And if you ever like somebody or something's ever in your life that you want to pursue and you're just like, I don't know how to pursue it, guys, always take that opportunity. Do not be scared, because you don't know what it might bring to you. You don't know anything, you know. And so the best sure way to know is if you go out there and you do it. The worst that can happen is someone saying no or leaving you alone, or if it's something that you truly want in life, you fail at it and you move on, pick up the pieces, keep going forward. There's just so much to life to just not be taking chances and having way too many regrets. Honestly, for me, I'm done with regrets. I don't know about you guys. I'm done with it. Let's be done with it together. So it was a short story. It wasn't really too much of a story, but I'm literally sitting here at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to make this video, because like I said, I've been on an off schedule right now because I've been playing a game for like hours a day, and I'll be getting back to my normal schedule. Like I said, I got a Q&A coming out sometime, I believe Saturday, and I'm going to be filming that tomorrow. So leave me questions down below. I think today is going to be the last day, the cutoff day of me taking in questions. So if you really want to ask me something, today is that day, people. I love you guys so much. I don't know, I gotta figure out a better word to call you guys, but my ghouls, my spooky friends, I don't know, you guys, I love you guys. My name is SpookieSTL or Brandon. At the end of the day, don't forget to share the love.